couple of secrets how to make winter soup really, really delicious. And I've been lucky enough to have 2 mother-in-laws. And the first mother-in-law gave me this tip, which is put a tiny weeny little bit of curry powder into the soup. It'll just give it that little bit of kick. But I find curry powder can hurt my gut or my tummy a little bit, so I've changed to cayenne pepper, which doesn't hurt your gut at all. But you've got to do a tiny bit, otherwise everyone's sweating when they have the soup. It can ruin it. Even just the tiniest bit just adds that little extra oomph. And then the other hint is to, when you get all your vegetables, and in this case I did an onion, you can see it there frying in the middle, some vegetables, some parsnips, and leeks, and I fried them all up, and then I put them into the mixer, the food mixer, and then the right hand side that's gone blurry is the mixture, is the soup. And frying up all the delicious bits first in a good oil, like olive oil, and adding a tiny tad of cayenne pepper, it just makes the soup delicious. And obviously eating it when you just made it is lovely, but if you store it in the fridge the next day and the next day, it's even better. And the trick for me to have got into making food was, before I cook, and now even during, while I do anything, I notice in my body where it's feeling contractive, or I'm noticing in my psyche where I don't want to do it, or I think there's not enough time, or it's just not worth it, or I'm not worth making all this just for one soup, or whatever's going on. It's all the mind, and it's all fear-based, and I sit with the fear. I try not to go into any story with it. I just sit in it, and I feel it, and I feel it, sit in it, and what happens is I start to slow down, and I start to do as I'm being. So I'm being aware of any shadow stuff that's coming up. Here we go. I'm cooking, and I'm outside because there was something I had to check on with the horses, and I have said to my husband and my son, I won't do that anymore because I can end up burning things. But if I'm really in being, I'm in the flow, and I can feel the horses calling me for something, I go over and do it and come back. It's all perfect, it's all fine. It's if I'm unconscious and I leave, I will burn things. And how lucky am I to have my horses right there, my workmates, so that I can be cooking for myself and my husband or my child, and pop out and make sure they're all right. So as I said, being is the answer to enjoying your life. If we be with any suffering that's coming up, any resistance, if you be with it, suddenly you're being. And what's funny about giving attention to anything, including suffering, is all attention is love. Because under the fear is always love, you see. Because that's what we are in our essence, in our core. And that's hard for the mind to believe or to understand, but these teachings aren't for the mind. Being is not for the mind. Doing is for the mind. And it's great. We need to do... Oh, here's another tip. I put bone broth in. Now for you, those of you that don't do beef at all, obviously you're not going to do this. You can do the vegetarian, the delicious vegetarian stuff, but I do the bone broth. Now I've allowed myself, as long as they're happy cows, and I know the lady that makes this bone broth in San Antonio, and she's so caring and conscious, and you know, these beef were happy. They were happy in the mountains. I will show you what else I put in. I'll show the back in a minute. But anyway, as I said, suffering is not something we can decide not to do, or ignore, or put into a box, or numb. Oh, this is it. Butternut squash. Usually I cook it myself, but when I don't have the time, I take it from my organic shop, which is Whole Foods in my case, and in it goes. So good. Now that didn't get fried up. It doesn't usually. I usually put it in raw like this. So this is when we welcome suffering, or we welcome pain, because we're gonna stand in it and feel it as we watch something boil or cook, or slowly sip something or eat. Feel the body, see where it's suffering a little bit. Bit of salt, and notice it, be with it, and what will happen is the love that is under everything expands enough and starts to be guided there, because we're giving our attention to it. And then you'll notice the love, notice the expansion, and then notice the suffering and the contraction. Notice the love, notice the suffering and the contraction. I think that's the cayenne. Yeah, there we go. There we go. And the love always evaporates or dissolves the contraction. So pain is going to happen in life, loss is going to happen. But suffering actually isn't a must. Suffering is optional. Eckhart Tolle talks about that, and the reason why is because suffering is when the mind says, if only I'd done that, what if I'd done this, what if I go and do that? So the mind doesn't want to feel pain, it's always trying to fix it, and that's fine for certain things. But when there's psychological pain, or there's old pain, or there's shadow stuff coming up, best thing to do is to stick with it and just feel it. And it slows one's life down a lot, because we're meeting something that we've run from all this time. So there we go. Got my soup. That's probably about 3 or 4 days worth for me. Guests, husband, son pops over and has some if he wants to. And this is what the vitamix is so good at. It can make a delicious soup. It can actually make it hot as well if I wanted to. Just leave it in on soup mode and it just heats it up, and I actually prefer it a bit hotter than that, so I heat it up in little bits now. And there we go. I did taste it, but I didn't put the spoon back. Please God, I didn't put the spoon back. No, I didn't. So no one's going to get affected by the fact that I had a spoonful. Oh, this is what a granny sent me. So lovely. I love these things. I pop it on, and then here's a little bit, as you can see, heated up, really, really hot. And these are the titanium pans that we bought. What's it called? Royal Heritage is where we get them now. They're pure titanium. They used to be very expensive, $500 or $600 a pan, but now somebody's realised there's a hole in the market, so they're a normal price, and you can get them on eBay as well. And they're a little bit different way of cooking. You heat them up first and then you put them in. It's like a Dutch oven, but you can keep the food in them in the fridge because there's no aluminum in them at all. Nearly every single other, except for iron, has aluminium at the bottom of the stainless steel pot to help it heat up quicker, and that can leak into your body, into your brain. They're saying Alzheimer's is partly affected by that, so So get yourself titanium instead. I'll put the link of where you can get them, and I highly, highly recommend them. There it is. Yummy. A little bit of greenery on top. Look at it steaming away. Gorgeous. It's a way of cooking as being while doing, showing myself and the people that I love through food.